In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, a civilization flourished with stories that fascinated and frightened its inhabitants. Among these legends, that of the Anunnakis stands out as one of the most mysterious and impactful. According to ancient texts, these beings were endowed with unimaginable powers and had an enigmatic purpose. Were they benevolent gods, or imposing figures controlling the destiny of humans? The Anunnakis appear for the first time in the records of ancient Mesopotamia, particularly in the Sumerian and Akkadian civilizations, which thrived around 4000 BC. In these writings, the Anunnakis were described as a family of gods with unmatched powers, considered the nobles, and descendants of Anu, the supreme sky god. These divine figures were believed to be responsible for the creation of everything that exists, and their stories were passed down through generations via inscriptions on clay tablets, such as those found in the ruins of Nippur and other Sumerian cultural centers. In the 20th century, the theory that the Anunnakis could be extraterrestrial beings gained popularity with the writings of Zecharia Sitchin. He suggested that these gods actually came from a distant planet, called Nibiru, which orbits our sun in an elliptical and distant trajectory, returning to the solar system every 3,600 years. Sitchin believed that the Anunnakis came to Earth in search of resources, primarily gold, which they would use to preserve the atmosphere of their planet. This theory connects the presence of the Anunnakis with a clear and pragmatic purpose, not as divine beings, but as space travelers on a mission of survival. According to Sitchin's theories, the Anunnakis would have created humanity to assist them with tasks requiring strength and endurance. They needed workers to extract gold and carry out heavy tasks, and instead of getting directly involved, they decided to create a hybrid species that combined their own genes with those of primitive hominids on Earth. In Sumerian inscriptions, there are references to gods who shaped man from clay, paralleling the biblical myth of Adam. This process of genetic engineering is interpreted as a technological intervention, creating beings with intelligence and working ability, but without the divine powers of the Anunnakis themselves. The relationship between the Anunnakis and humans was not one of equality. Humans were seen as servants and workers, created to obey and serve. Ancient accounts suggest that while some Anunnakis, like Enki, had a more compassionate relationship with humans, other gods were severe and ruthless. According to legends, conflicts and rebellions arose both among the Anunnakis themselves and between humans and their creators. In some texts, there are stories of disasters and severe punishments imposed on humans who dared to disobey. This suggests a complex and often turbulent coexistence between humans and Anunnakis. Ancient records indicate that the Anunnakis not only visited, but lived on Earth for thousands of years. Sumerian cities, such as Eridu, Ur, and Nippur, were cultural and religious centers where these gods were believed to dwell. In Nippur, for example, there was the Duranki, a temple considered the meeting point between heaven and earth. The inscriptions suggest that these sites were sacred and functioned as centers of command and worship. The Anunnakis would have established civilizations and taught humans knowledge such as agriculture, architecture, and astronomy. Theories suggest that the Anunnakis remained here for millennia until they had extracted the necessary amount of resources. From there, they would have departed, leaving their teachings and possibly some hybrid lineages. According to traditions, they left mysteriously, leaving humans to govern themselves, marking the beginning of a new era. This abandonment became a central point in modern conspiracy theories, with some beliefs asserting that the Anunnakis would still return to guide or punish humanity. The Sumerian stories not only recount the creation of humans but also internal conflicts among the gods themselves. Enlil and Enki, two of the Anunnaki leaders, reportedly disagreed on how to treat humans. Enlil, severe and rigid, saw humanity as a threat, while Enki was more compassionate and believed that humans should be protected. This clash of visions would have led to drastic actions, including a series of natural disasters that decimated parts of humanity, a version that aligns with flood accounts in other ancient cultures. According to some texts, Enki helped a human survive the flood, similar to the story of Noah. Over time, humans began to question their position of servitude. Revolts and disobedience are mentioned in Sumerian texts, leading the Anunnakis to impose severe punishments. These stories reinforce the idea that the relationship between humans and gods was complex and often tense. One narrative suggests that the Anunnakis, weary of constant insubordination, decided to leave, allowing humanity to follow its own destiny. But before they departed, they are said to have warned that one day they might return to resume their influence. Upon departing, the Anunnakis would have left behind a series of teachings and technologies that shaped future civilizations. Agriculture, writing, astronomy, and architecture are some of the knowledge that humanity inherited. This legacy laid the foundations for the formation of the first organized and advanced civilizations. The presence of monumental structures and astronomical alignments in ancient civilizations, such as the pyramids of Egypt, Stonehenge in England, and others, are seen by some theorists as evidence that the Anunnakis instructed humans to build structures echoing their own knowledge and technology. Among modern theorists, there is a persistent belief that the Anunnakis may return. The theory of Nibiru suggests that this planet approaches the solar system at intervals of thousands of years, which could bring these beings back to Earth. The idea of the return of the Anunnakis inspires both hope and fear, depending on how their relationship with humanity is interpreted. Prophecies and apocalyptic texts in religions suggest that a return of superior or divine beings will occur at a critical moment in history. Some see this as a reference to the Anunnakis, who might return to oversee humanity once again, ushering in a new era of order or retribution. The Anunnakis, whether legends, extraterrestrials, or symbols of lost knowledge, left a lasting impact on human imagination. The search for answers continues, fueling theories and questions about who we really are and where we come from. These gods may be just myths, but their influence continues to shape the way we approach the mystery of human origins. Perhaps, in the end, the true purpose of the Anunnaki stories is to keep alive the flame of curiosity and the relentless quest for knowledge, challenging us to explore the secrets of the past to understand the future.